This is not the time to be like, okay, 1, 2, and then shoot. No, grab your pens, grab your paper, and let's get started. Hi guys, it's Ves. Welcome back or welcome to my channel if you're new. In today's video, we're going to be going over some of my favorite tips for posing for your Instagram pictures or just posing for pictures in general. If you're a little bit thicker, if you have bigger boobs like I do, if you just want to hide your little stomach pouch, these are some great tips that have definitely helped me as someone who gained a lot of weight in the pandemic. And these tips, I've incorporated them in my pictures and they have changed so much for me. Something that I think is really cool as well is that even if you're not heavier set, if you don't have big boobs like I just mentioned, these tips can still really work for you and it can still ensure that you have bomb pictures. So I'm super excited to get started on this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not, and let's get started. Starting off with tip number 1 is to experiment with different angles. Something that I noticed was that when I was 125 pounds, then 130 pounds, I was able to pose certain ways. And then when I got to 160, 170, 180, I was not really able to pose like that anymore without my back looking a little big or my pooch being a little too out. So poses definitely change when you factor in weight gain and things like that. It's important to experiment with different angles and see what works for you. This also applies to selfies. When I take a selfie from this angle, I look completely different than when I do it from this angle. This is why it's important to take a lot of pictures. Just go. Click that shutter as much as possible. This is not the time to be like, okay, 1, 2, and then shoot. No, take a lot of different pictures, whether that's standing up photos or selfies. It's important to just experiment with different angles and see which one you like better, which one suits you best. A really great example of this as well was that I used to be able to confidently take a picture head on, like facing the camera, and now you couldn't really pay me to take a picture like that. My fupa be fupaing, and it's just not the most flattering angle. If we take a look at my Instagram, some of the pictures where I was my heaviest, I was definitely facing the back. I wasn't facing forward. When I really started gaining weight, I definitely got it in my stomach. And even now, like, the weight is majority like in my belly. If you don't like a certain part of your body and you don't want that to show in the photo, there's ways we can go around it. It's not about just like not liking that body part. It's sometimes you just don't want to show that. I know for me, I'm 4'11" and I don't want to be so short with a little round belly. Like, I look like a freaking blueberry. So for me, that's just like not part of my story, you know? So something that I would do is I would turn away from the camera. Flat out turn away from the camera. This still was great to show off my outfit, to show off the scenery, but I didn't want my belly in the photo. This is also really good if you're not wearing a bra and they're not as high as you want them. Just turning away from the camera or turning slightly really helps with not showing it at all. I took these type of pictures on vacation when I went to the Dominican Republic and then when I went to Jamaica as well. Like I said, knowing your angles not only applies to body pictures, but it also applies to selfies. I know that I don't like my selfies face forward, like right there, like facing forward. I rather just turn my head slightly. You guys see how big of a difference that makes? Here versus here. I feel like you can see my jawline a little bit better, and it's just my personal preference. So a lot of my selfies are taken from an angle, whether that's this angle or this angle. It's my favorite eyebrow, so I'm like always posing from this side. But it's really up to you, and it's just a matter of playing around with angles and seeing what you like better. Number 2, keep in mind your posture. You can start minding your posture by making sure your shoulders are back and that your back is straight. This really helps to elongate your body. And remember to keep your core active as possible. If you gotta suck it in a little bit, suck it in. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I find that keeping my back straight and my shoulders back really help me with my overall energy and confidence in the photo. When you keep your posture in mind, it really exudes confidence. Tip number 3 is something that I definitely live by, and it's playing with props and clothes. What do I mean by that? For my pictures, everything is a prop. Almost everything is a prop. A prop could be your bag, it could be your sunglasses, it could be your shirt, your sweater, somebody else's shirt or sweater. Using something else as a prop just adds more interest to the photo, and it's one of my favorite things to do. One of my favorite vacation photos of all time was when I was in DR and I had a beer and I was like that with the beer. And the focus was the beer and the fact that my waist looked super snatched. That picture was one of my favorites because not only was it really pretty, it was super fun. Like my sister took the photo and it was just so much fun to take that picture. It adds visual interest. For my birthday photo, I didn't have a top on, but the photo was like from here to here. And what I did was I had some gloves with pearls. That glove was a prop and it just added, so again, so much visual interest to the picture. For my 21st birthday, I did something similar where it was pink feathers. So it was the same concept, like topless, but with pink feathers. And that one is also hands down one of my favorite photos. Number 4 is probably one of the best tips I can give you guys. Mindful arm placements. As I mentioned to you guys, as I got older and started getting more weight, I really had to be mindful of how I was posing, and putting my arms in strategic places definitely helped with a lot of my photos. There's so many ways that you can use your arm to conceal unflattering parts of your body if you want. One of my favorites is arm straight down over the thigh. This pose is perfect because I find that it definitely tops that lower bump. It really tops your lower pooch and just helps you look overall snatched. And it just helps the photo look so much better. What I really love was that it was also effortless. It looked super simple. It didn't look like you were trying too hard. It's easy. You're just there and bow. Bonus tip. If you don't want your arm to flatten down and it gets a little bit thicker, you can just put your arm a little up. Like that. Up. And it'll look a little bit slimmer. Look at the difference here versus here. A pose that I really love with your arms as well is putting your arm right there. Right in the triangle of your waist. In my New Year's photo of 2023, I had that arm right there in the waist, really helping to accentuate the waist and make me look even more snatched. And then I had the bag as well as a prop and accessory to add interest to the photo as well. This is one of my favorite photos because although it was taken in my mom's house, super simple background, the photo has so much visual interest, from the dress to the heels to the hair to the bag to the arm. And for me, the arm really seals the deal. Another arm placement suggestion that I really love is anything near the forehead, near the hair. It makes it look like it's a candid, but it really isn't. Whether it's here, whether it's here, whether it's here, it looks very effortless and very cool. And that's my favorite type of style of photo. So when you're taking your pictures, definitely experiment with different poses and experiment with different ways. Don't just stay stuck with one hand movement. Just keep moving and keep moving. Something I've recently started doing is having both hands up. And I am obsessed. I think the pose is super cute and it's something that everyone should definitely try. Last tip, number 5, and it's definitely the most important. Always remember that confidence is key. Confidence is the best accessory, and it really shines through in every photo. These tips are not about hiding or being ashamed of your body in any type of way. It's about embracing your curves and highlighting what you want to highlight. Make sure to always celebrate your body, always celebrate yourself, and always celebrate your curves. So there you have it, guys. Those are some of my favorite tips for posing for Instagram pictures. If you guys have any questions, suggestions, concerns, or anything that you guys would like to talk to me about, DM me on Instagram and ask me anything. Again, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.